What's up, pals? Welcome to another episode of the Your Random Pal channel. And today I'm at a off-the-radar kind of place, and this place is actually somewhat new. I'm in Central City, Kentucky, and if you don't know where that's at, well, we're not too far away from Paducah, but kind of a little bit out in the middle of nowhere. But this is the Kentucky Motorsports Hall of Fame Museum. So you're going to see some really cool cars, some vintage race cars, some racing history in here. It's gonna be cool. It's my first time being here and checking this place out. It's also a 2-in-1 museum, so if you like music, they have a little music museum in here too. Without further ado, let's take a tour. All right, so heading on into the Motorsports Museum, and we got Dr. Freddie Mays here, a former optometrist. Right. And this is his deal right here, so tell us a little bit about it.
Just great to be able to show this off. I mean, we're fortunate to be able to, bring people to our community to look at our motorsports history. We're divided into two parts in this museum, or in this building. We have Music Museum, which honors our music legacy in the front part of what used to be a car dealership. Where service bays are located is now actually the car museum. So out front, all Muhlenberg County music. In the back, it is all Kentucky Motorsports in some way or another. So the owners, the drivers, the pit crews, different folks have made contributions back there. Everything we have, again, is somehow Kentucky connected. Two of those are particularly Central City connected. Bruco Motorsports was a race car team back in the 90s, and they were located in Central City. They were raced first the Busch Series and the Cup Series. The first driver, Casey Atwood, was leading Daytona. I think it was in 1999. A lap to go, got bumped from behind. His car is airborne and rolls and twists and turns and that sort of thing. What's left of that car is on display, as well as a video of the wreck. He walked away uninjured. Thank goodness we wouldn't be showing that otherwise. We also have a world champion drag racer named Lynn Ellison, and so we have his display case as well. The rest of those things are all across the state of Kentucky. The range is from Soapbox Derby to the Indy 500, everything in between. There are race cars, show cars, funny cars, drag cars, and everything is back there.
Any rally cars?
I do not know. Honestly, I'm more the music guy.
Okay.
Our car people are volunteers. They're not here this weekend for Labor Day. But all of the displays have placards that actually describe the significance there, so you can find that out for yourself.
Well, can you show me around to some of the highlights that you know about?
Sure, I'll be happy to do that.
I like cars a lot. I don't keep up with the racing all that much.
Yes,
but,
sir.
I know some of the famous people and stuff.
Well, the people that from our area that are most famous are going to be Darrell Waltrip, and his brother.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
From Michael. They're from Owensboro, right? And we actually had a banner that has now been replaced that was aged and that sort of thing for Darrell Waltrip. Then also the Green brothers, raced, and they were a part of the Bruco Motorsports team that I mentioned earlier. So we have displays for them. In fact, one of the championship cars is here, which is very nice. And Jeremy Mayfield was another local in Owensboro, and Jeremy Mayfield, we don't have anything actually on his to honor him at this point. Then we also have in our community, Nicky Hayden from Owensboro was world champ motocross guy, and we have banner for him. Expect to have maybe some of his product at some point. Don't have that yet. Then we have the owner of Beach Bend Raceway. His first race car is here. The White Nova that is across from us was yes, that was Dallas Jones, and he ended up, his family still owns Beach Bend Raceway. Other cars that are here, just Kim Bard, who actually is co-owner of Bard Distillery, a bourbon distillery in our community. Actually drove the NASCAR series, and now drives Monster Truck Series in Australia in the off seasons. We have a display for her as well. So various things like that along the way. The Indy car is unique. The Indy car actually belongs to a husband and wife dental team in Louisville, but they actually display that here. Absolutely, we got
Let's
that.
Let's go over there and take a look at it.
Absolutely.
You can tell me some of the highlights or something about it.
Sure. Well, for me, again, the Indy 500 is one of the most famous races in the world. Yeah. And for us to have a display there, which is really very neat, and they have the miniature car that goes with it as well. The little go-kart. That's it. Looks good as well. And then the car next to it, this Galaxy was built actually from the factory to race. Many of the cars are converted over time to the owners, but this one was built to race from the get-go. It has very special value that's there. I understood the gentleman that owns it had it at the Mecum sale at one point, and I forgot it was a 6-figure offer. He turned it down, so that's a very valuable car, and one we've had now for a little while. Most of our cars are on loan. All of our cars are on loan. Most of them are cars that come and go. In fact, we lost a few cars over the weekend for car shows over the Labor Day weekend. But people bring them and leave them in order to show, and for us, to be able to share with folks that come in to visit. It changes regularly.
It's a good reason to come back.
It is, because over the winter, particularly when people have whatever seasons have ended, then they love for us to house their vehicles for them over the winter. And so we had a monster truck last winter called High Roller. We'll get that back. We've been told we're going to have a Packard coming back in, over the winter as well. Actually, a pace car for an Indy race we think we're getting as well. So over the winter there'll be additions to what we have here already. Right? So IndyCar here, made to race here. Dallas Jones is the next car up. Dallas Jones, again, is the gentleman that owns Beach Bend Raceway, raced himself for a number of years. This was Kim Bard's car. I mentioned her.
The NASCAR.
The NASCAR, yes. And she drove, there. That's a special car for us as well. Then the show cars are mixed in between. These guys race their cars and maybe drag racing, that sort of thing. And so the paint job on the 56 Chevy, behind us is really very unique. And then one other car in this room that I really like is the display for Casey Atwood. I mentioned
that's the one that rolled over and he walked away from it?
Oh, yeah, incredible. Again, Casey was 18 years old, and I think he was the first driver for Bruco Motorsports. And Casey, you can see by the video, he was actually leading the race in the lap to go. And this was in Daytona on a Saturday in a bush race. And then he gets bumped from behind, he goes airborne. He rolls, flips, turns, twists, just slides forever, and then ends up, just in the grass in the infield. So as horrendous as that is in terms of the wreck, this is what left of the car. He walked away from that, which was incredible for us. Right? They later had Jamie Murray's a driver, and then when they went into the Cup Series, they added the the Cup Series, they added the Green brothers as being drivers for them as well.
Well, you seem to know a lot about racing.
Well, I've learned over a period of time.
I know about the cars more so than, than other stuff. But,
so those are the most significant things that I know of, in this part of the museum. And then we'll walk into a second room here that's filled with cars. And these are more show cars than race cars. But give us a little something that's kind of period related. The Thunderbird, the Curtis is a unique car. I think the year that it was produced, it will show you in the plaque that's there. There were, less than 100 of those cars even made, so it's nice to be able to have that. We have the funny cars where they raise them up and look underneath to drive, which is really neat. The miniatures are very nice, as well. And then we have a display back in the corner, the kind that pays tribute to the 60s. That's when a lot of this was actually, very famous, or got very popular at that time. So we have that as well. Super Sport back in the corner is really nice. He still races that. And again, so a mixture of show cars. Yes, as well, right? The displays actually honor the careers of some of these folks, some of their highlights. We have trophies, we have gear that they wore. We have, again, just a mixture of things.
I like how you got the buildings decorated,
really neat. We added banners. It was, and when we actually got the opportunity to host a museum, the idea was, is there funding to be able to renovate? And as people that are car enthusiasts started looking, they said, you don't want to do anything to this. This is authentic. It looks like what these guys would have worked in when they were racing their cars. So we cleaned up, painted, some things like that, did lighting, and then added some neon, added lots of banners, and we have, again, a lot of the suits that they wore and that sort of thing, so it gives it kind of an authentic feel. Working on now actually a photo display that will capture some highlights through the years of a lot of different local racers that were involved with that. So yeah, a nice mixture of things to see.
Do you remember what time period the Ford dealership operated? Oh,
probably started back in the 40s. It was Lester Motors. It was a Ford dealership for years. They sold cars, trucks, and actually tractor parts. And probably this dealership closed, I want to say in the 80s, something like that. And there were a couple of other coal-related industry businesses located here for a while. But as coal in the community started to fall off, those businesses no longer had a purpose, and so ultimately it was vacated. And the people that owned it, the Lester family, made a very nice offer to the city in order to purchase it. So the city got it probably about 10 years ago, and we began the conversion. First adding our music museum, and then later adding car museum.
So this So this is a fairly new museum.
It is. The idea for the museum actually came about years and years ago, and it started with music. Our community hosted Everly Brothers Homecoming Music Festivals from 1988 until 2002. So while that was going on, the idea was to create a museum to honor the careers of the Everly Brothers. And then as we got into actually doing it, our music heritage, it goes beyond the Everly Brothers. Merle Travis was born and raised here. John Prine's parents and grandparents were born and raised here. John had lots of strong ties to the community. And then actually a world-renowned flute player named Jim Walker, who has lots of claim in concert flute and even jazz flute. Probably most known for being the soloist in the last Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio. The flute solo in that movie is one of our high school graduates playing that, actually. So we started with music and then expanded that to include cars then a few years after that. So it's been really nice. We've now had guests from every state, plus Washington, D.C. We've had guests from 29 different countries, and maybe 30. I think we had a new country the other day. Venezuela was just here. So it's been very popular, growing in popularity. We added an external feature to this last summer, in fact. We now have bronze statues of the Everly Brothers and John Prine, which is very unique. So people come for that as well. So yeah, we draw people from all around the area, all around the United States, all around the world, in order to come and spend time here.
So your music museum, for those that are interested, what kind of genres do you cover in that?
Well, the Everly Brothers are most known for rock and roll. They were at the cutting edge of rock and roll. They started country and then converted. They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, original or first class. They're in the Country Music Hall of Fame. Songwriters Hall of Fame, and they actually have a star on Hollywood Boulevard. So the brothers kind of got it going. Then beyond that, Merle Travis, is going to be country rockabilly type style. A great songwriter. He was actually the writer of 16 Tons, which was a phenomenal hit for Tennessee Ford. Right?
Yeah, I heard that song.
And then he
recently.
Yes, and it's been redone, covered by other people. But he was the original. He wrote and recorded 16 Tons. And then John Prine. Oh, I mentioned one other thing with Merle Travis. It's his guitar style that actually makes us probably most known. There's a thumb picking style of guitar playing that's very complex. I'm not a musician, so I can't explain it, I can't mimic it. But the thumb plays rhythm and bass, the fingers playing melody and harmony, and the left hand's playing chords. So all that's going on while they're making even drum sounds out of the guitar, and they're singing and talking and cutting up and that sort of thing is phenomenal. So we are home to legends of thumb picking as well. It started with with Kennedy Jones. It was enlarged with Ike Everly and Mose Rager, locals, and Ike Everly, of course, his father to the Everly Brothers. Then Merle Travis, picked that up and took it to Nashville. It was known as Travis picking, now thumb picking, and is known all over the world. So that's a very nice part of our heritage, with Merle Travis. John Prine is more folk music, Americana type music, and just an incredible songwriter. He put us on the map with a song called Paradise. The lyrics are all about Montgomery County, and people come in singing that song to us all the time. It's been covered by so many different artists. John Prine, lots and lots of songs, lots of different topics that were there. And again, lots of Grammy Awards, including Lifetime Achievement Awards, for John Prine. There also is again another part of the county. There's an extra tribute to John Prine. His ashes, a portion of his ashes, are spread in Rochester Dam, in the Green River. That was in the lyrics to Paradise, and he had talked about when he died, he would like his ashes spread in Green River. So it flowed down to Rochester Dam, so that actually happened in a very private service with his family. So extra for John Prine. And then Jim Walker, as I mentioned, classical flute initially. He's among the top 2 flute players in the world. Then jazz flute after that, performed on the Tonight Show 4 different occasions, and actually at the Academy Awards on stage with Paul McCartney. And then in the movie industry, he's been a part of the music over 750 movies in Hollywood, the most famous one being Titanic, again with Leonardo DiCaprio. That flute solo, very special, very well known, and it's our high school graduate that actually did that as well. All right. 2 Hollywood celebrities out of our community as well. We feature Warren Oates, a lot of movies back in the 70s and the 80s. He was in The Heat of the Night with Sidney Poitier. Then he also played a lot of westerns. He played in Return of the Seven. He played in Wild Bunch. He played Dillinger in the movie about the bank robber, John Dillinger. John Dillinger, In his last, probably most famous role was in Stripes with Bill Murray. He plays Sergeant Hawker.
That was filmed in Louisville, part of that.
Absolutely. So he is from the county. And then finally, James Best, who has played Roscoe B. Coltrane,
yeah,
Dukes
from
of Hazzard.
Powderly, Kentucky.
Absolutely,
yeah,
right
nearby.
here in the county.
How far is that from here?
About 3 miles.
3 miles, okay.
Right. Greenville is our county seat. Central City is more the business and population area, and Powderly's right in between.
Okay.
So James Best, you know, was
That's
born
where
here
he was born
as well.
here. Not where he grew up, though. But
it was not. You know, he was actually first cousin of the Everly brothers. His mother and their father were brother and sister. And his mother died young, and there were 9 children, and so they were adopted by other families raised outside the community. He was raised, I think, in Corydon, Indiana.
Corydon, Indiana.
Is where he was actually claimed, you know, his home. But he was born here as well. So those are our celebrities. The newest celebrity probably is going to be a gentleman named Kelsey Hart. Kelsey's an up-and-comer in country music at this point. He performed at the Grand Ole Opry last year for the first time, maybe back this year as well. And then also Benjamin Todd and the Lost Dog Street Band is from the county, and another Grand Ole Opry performer. So that kind of captures our music heritage.
All right. Well, thanks for telling me everything about this place,
Yes, sir.
Dr. Freddie Mays.
Yes.
I appreciate your hospitality down here.
Right.
And here we have a popular little British sports car here. It's a 1977 MG, and it was gifted
By Don Everly. There's the cutouts there. You can see January 2006. That's when it was gifted. Nice little shiny red sports car.
Man, there's so many cool cars, so much racing history in this little place. It's just a nice place to stop. It's off the beaten path, off the radar. But come out here, get a chance. Central City, Kentucky. It's not too far from Paducah, Kentucky, if you know where that's at. And check out all this car stuff. I mean, cars, racing, motorsports, all kinds of history cram-packed into this old Ford dealership. Now, it's not the biggest place in the world, but hey, there's just so much stuff to look at. Not just the cars, but the trophies, the stuff on the walls, advertisements, all kinds of cool stuff, all kinds of history to learn. Definitely worth a trip out here. And I'm about to head out to lunch at Patti's, not too far away in Grand Rivers, close to Paducah as well. Great pork chops there. If you've never heard of Patti's, it's Patti's 1880 Settlement. Great restaurant. So come out here, check out the Motorsports Museum, and dine at Patti's. But until next episode, don't worry, be random. Just taking a little walk around here. They've got a lot of bases covered as far as motorsports and racing. I mean, you've got the vintage dragsters, you got the sprint cars, you know, the gassers, muscle cars, indy, NASCAR, stock car racing. There's just so much stuff here. I mean, even like the junior dragsters. Even over here, we got some vintage stuff over here. And this is another big part of the museum here. You can see we got little midget race cars here. We've got the funny car in the back. Even racing bikes. So the cars here run the gambit of motorsports. I mean, check this out. This is really cool. It's really rare. Probably a lot of people have never heard of it, but it's called a Curtis. This is a 1954 Curtis Craft 500M. So you'll see something unique. And like the man said, the inventory in here changes. It changes throughout the seasons. People bring different cars out here to loan to the museum for a period of time. So you never know what you might see out here. Maybe even a monster truck.
And if you never want to miss another Random Car video,
remember, ring that bell.